Hello again, everyone. This is Collocations Part 26. This is the 26th video in my collocation series, and like the others, I'll present 5 commonly used collocations to you numbered 126 to 130. But first, I'll give you the opportunity to guess the appropriate word or words to complete each one. Then, I'll give you the answers and an additional example for each collocation. I also recommend that you pause the video at each question to give yourself some extra time to think of the answers. So, are you ready? Okay, here we go. Number 126. And the answer here is C, did. The collocation is did a favor or did me a favor. And the example reads, my cousin did me a favor this morning by giving my son a ride to school. Now, to do a favor for somebody is just to do a kind deed or an act to help someone. And in our example, the person's cousin did this kind act by giving the person's son a ride to school. Okay? That's what it means by doing a favor for someone. This is used very often. All right, now, gave me a favor or drove me a favor, they don't work here. All right, here's another example. You can do your little brother a favor by helping him with his homework tonight. All right, same thing here, right? This person is suggesting that they help their brother, their little brother, do his homework, okay? They're suggesting that he or she does a favor for their brother. Got it? All right, here's number 127. And the answer here is B, made a complaint. The collocation is to make a complaint. And our example is, my parents made a complaint to the principal of our school about the junk food that is sometimes served in the cafeteria. All right, to make a complaint basically means to make a statement, usually formal, about something that is wrong or that is not satisfactory. And in our example, the person's parents made this complaint to the principal about the food that we're serving in the cafeteria, right? The junk food. All right. Now, the other two examples here, proffered or created, they're very close, right? But no, they don't work for this combination of words. Here's another example. My aunt made a complaint to the police about some children that were making a lot of noise outside her house last night. Okay, in this example, the person's aunt makes this complaint, right, to the police, in this case, right, about something that is unsatisfactory or wrong. The children were making a lot of noise. All right, you got it? Okay, here's number 128. And the answer here is C, get wet. That's our collocation. And the example is, it's supposed to rain later on today. So don't forget to take your umbrella or you'll get wet. All right, just to get wet means to become wet. Literally, this is what it means, to be in contact with water. All right, to get wet. In our example, the person is suggesting that this other person take an umbrella or they will get wet. They will become wet. All right. Now, the other two, you can be soaking wet or to soak something. It means to get wet. And wring doesn't make sense either, right? To wring wet. So A and B don't work here. Get wet is our collocation. Here's another example. Take some extra clothes with you when you pack for your camping trip this weekend in case you get wet somehow. All right, so this person is suggesting that the other person take some dry clothing in case there's a storm or some kind. Maybe the person might fall into a lake or a stream or something and get wet, to become wet. Got it? Okay, here's number 129. And the answer here is A, in. The complete collocation is in desperation. And our example reads, in desperation, he resorted to stealing food from the local store. If you're in desperation, you're in a state of despair and have little hope about something, or in this case, getting something like food. All right. And the example, the person was desperate. They needed food really bad. They couldn't get it, so they had to steal it from the store. They were desperate or in despair. Used a lot. This collocation is used a lot. Now, we don't say at desperation or over desperation. We say in desperation. This is what it means. Okay, to be completely without hope. Now, here's another example. In desperation, they jumped out of the second-story window during the fire in their home. All right, in this case, the people were desperate because they were scared that they were going to get killed by the fire, right? So in desperation, they jumped out of the second-story window of their house, okay, second floor. So they were in despair. They needed to do something desperate, and that's what they did. Got it? Okay, now for our final collocation, number 130. And the answer here is B, came. The complete collocation is came into view. And our example reads, our cabin came into view after we reached the top of the mountain. Now, if something comes into view, it means that it's in sight. You're in sight of something, or you begin to see something. That's what it means. It comes into sight, we say. All right. And in our example, it seems like they were maybe hiking to their cabin in the woods somewhere, probably. And when they got to the top of the mountain, they could see their cabin. It came into view. Okay? The other two, opened and presented, they don't work. Here's another example. As I turned the corner, my cousin's restaurant came into view. All right. This seems like the person is either walking or maybe driving a car, and they went around the corner, as we say, or turned the corner, and they saw this person's cousin's restaurant. Okay? It was in sight of the person. It came into view. Got it? That's all for this video. Thanks again for subscribing, and please like and share the video if you get a chance. And remember what I always say, keep practicing. See you next time.